I'm going to start this video out by saying that if you are following me on Instagram, you would, know that I was working on a video today. So if you're not following me on Instagram, please do so. Basically, most of the time I post a picture or I hint something that I'm working on a video. And so instead of waiting on YouTube to notify you that I uploaded a video, you know to expect one today or tomorrow or whatever. This is going to be my review of the Samsung Galaxy S5. This specific one is on AT&T, but really, it doesn't matter. It could be on T-Mobile, Sprint, Verizon, it doesn't matter. This is my opinion of the device as a whole, not necessarily the network that it's on, which has been pretty freaking good so far. I have gotten faster T-Mobile LTE speeds in Kansas City, but AT&T, hands down, has much broader coverage than T-Mobile in general. So this is the Samsung Galaxy S5. First thing I want to do is cover the speaker real quick. So I just charged this phone. It hasn't been off the battery very long. Battery life on this phone has been great. The number one complaint I have right now is Instagram soaking up that battery life. Just sucking it dry. 1 day and 12 hours with Instagram being, whoa, that's kind of insane. Instagram being kind of like that right there, but yeah, so let's check out the speaker. Let's check out the speaker, shall we? So that we don't get in any trouble with copyright, we'll just go to settings here, and we'll go to sounds, which this is different. This is like tiles, and it's cool in a way. Like right here, you can actually edit the quick settings, and if you don't ever use some of these, you can actually press on them. So like I often go to my battery, so I can go to battery. Oh, I have too many. So what do I never toggle airplane mode with that. So now I can go to battery, and if I can find it again. Okay, so there's battery. We'll save it. Now, when I drag this down and I go to my settings here, I can quickly jump to my battery to see, hey, how well is it doing? What's taking up my battery life, etc. But I want to go to sounds. And then I want to go to ringtones. Alright, and another way to show you how well or bad the speakers are is to go to YouTube. And then we'll go to like this video right here.
Why are you eating sticks?
So the speakers are actually pretty decent on this thing. I don't have any complaints.
That was mean.
And when you set it down, it doesn't muffle it as much as I assumed it would, considering the speakers on the back there. So it sounds actually pretty good even when you lay it down. I'm impressed. But this is a flat surface. If you laid it down on the couch or something, then it would affect it. And I'm assuming it's because it has the little like bump there on the actual speaker grill. Like a little bitty bump.
Put it in low.
Yeah, you can see it right there.
It's either low right there.
So the speaker's pretty good. The camera is 16 megapixels and it takes some really good looking shots, like picture wise. It also is a 4K Ultra HD video camera. I have a video test on my channel. I'll try to remember to link to it in the description or create a playlist full of all my Galaxy S5 videos. Anyways, it takes really good, impressive videos. The camera on this thing is nothing short than amazing. If you're simply looking for a device that you're going to be taking a ton of pictures and a ton of videos with, definitely consider this over any other phone that's available right now. The Find 7 does have a better camera, but it's not a device that you could just walk into an AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint store and purchase right away. So, hands down, this is one of the best cameras on the market, period. That's all there is to it. Power button's in a good, easy spot. It's real easy to open the thing up and close it. And if you want to quickly jump to the camera, you can just simply do this, and now you're taking a picture. It's that quick and it's that easy. This phone is very fast. I am impressed. Okay, there was times on Twitter before where I posted that the S5 is the S4S, joking around, which I thought it was true. But hands-on with the device, after using it for a few days now, it's been a pleasure. It's been enjoyable. This is by no means my favorite device. And soon there's going to be a video talking about that, and soon you'll learn what my favorite device is. I prefer AOSP Android over TouchWiz, Sense, or anything like that. But it's really, really hard to pass up the camera on this thing. The camera on this thing is amazing. I can't get over how good it looks. The speaker sounds good. This phone charges unbelievably fast with the USB 3.0 charging port. Unfortunately, I have not timed it. I have not sat there and waited for it, but I can tell you the 2800 milliamp battery in here will get you a day's usage easily. And then when it needs to charge, it should only take an hour or so for it to fully charge up if you're using a USB 3.0 cable. If you lose your USB 3.0 cable or you want multiple USB 3.0 cables, you can get them on Amazon for $7 for a 2-pack. I bought some of them not too long ago and I still use them. They're really good cables and they're cheap. Unfortunately, I have not really used this for calls, so I can't tell you how good or bad it sounds. I can tell you that the signal from AT&T on this device is very, very strong. A lot of times I turn my Wi-Fi off so I can download something when Comcast is acting up, which it usually is these days. So the network behind this device is awesome, and that's very important because my Sprint Note 3 here, I'm almost always sitting at one little tiny bar, and it's just absolutely terrible. I barely get LTE, as you can see by the signal there from Signal Check Pro. So the device is fast, the device is awesome, but the network behind it, unless you're on stable Wi-Fi, it's garbage. You can't do anything that requires network, like communication with the outside world. So the Sprint pretty much renders this device useless unless you're on a good Wi-Fi connection. On this device, AT&T keeps it moving pretty fast. And I'm sorry about my voice. I have been sick and I'm still doing this video because I want to let people know how I feel about this device. Now, a lot of the things I'm not going to cover because I covered them in my Galaxy S5 First Impressions video. youtube.com/wwjoshdew, or you can click the link in the description. There's a little part where it says show more. If you click that, you'll be able to see all of the links, and one of those links will take you to my video on my first impressions of this device. This device has by far some of the fastest Wi-Fi out there, and when you drag down once, it takes you to your notifications. If you drag down twice, it takes you to your little things here, or you can hit this to flip it back and forth. You can even edit some of these tiles and get rid of some of them that you don't ever use. So if you long press on a setting, it takes you to that corresponding setting for all options. If you just tap on it, then it just quickly turns, like, if I tap on that, it'll turn Bluetooth on, and then I can connect to my car and play music through my car, or talk to people through my car. So if I long press on Wi-Fi, I can go in here, and this has a link speed of 866 megabits per second. I talked about that, and I showed proof in my first impressions, so I won't talk about that anymore. This device has the fastest Wi-Fi available in any mobile device that I know of right now. The HTC One M8, all of those have 433 megabits per second. This has a staggering 866 per second. So if you have Google Fiber, you're going to be able to use all that speed. Something triggered the OK Google, which is included with this phone. So you could just keep talking, or you could go, "Okay, Google, what is Eminem's real name?"
Eminem's full name is Marshall Bruce Mathers III.
So there you have it. You have OK Google. You have, there's a lot of apps on here, but and that's something I'm going to talk about is this recent apps button. I almost called it stupid, but it's just because I'm not quite used to it yet. So go to settings here, and then you can go to uninstall disable apps. And you can see all of these that have a little thing next to them, so you can actually disable those or uninstall. I don't know if you'll be able to uninstall them, but you will be able to, disable them. Okay, cool. So they won't be running, taking up memory, which is something people asked about. So let's go ahead and go to the settings here and see how much this is. I'm jumping around the place. I have ADHD. I'm not the best reviewer out there. I'll just say that, and we'll leave it at that. So we're going to go to the storage options here, and you're going to see that it has a total capacity of 16 gigabytes. I do not have an SD card in there. This is after only installing apps that I use on an everyday basis. This phone has not been modified. It has not been rooted. Not yet, but it will as soon as AT&T, someone figures out how to get past the bootloader. but I have 7.60 gigabytes free. You could slap a 64 gig SD card in there. The HTC One M8 supports 128 gigs, so I don't see why this phone would not support that. If I ever do get a 128 gig card, I will try it out on this phone, and I will update the description or post a video on my second channel showing proof that it supports it or it doesn't. But as of right now, it does support a 64 gig micro SD card, which I do not have one inserted at the moment. But you can see just how much is available when you get the device. If you have the option of getting a 32 gig later on down the road, I highly recommend that because your apps are going to be stored on your internal storage, and the more space the better. But as of right now, we're fine, and I can show you all the apps I have. So I've installed Instagram, my favorite Twitter client, Plume. I installed the official one in case I run out of, because you get, with third-party Twitter clients, you get a API limit, and I get past that a lot. This device does have smart remote, so the IR blaster right here, you can control your TV. I haven't set it up on this device. I set it up on my HTC One M8, but anyways, it's the same exact method as my Note 3 and S4 videos. If you Google wwjoshdew S4 or Note 3, use your phone as a remote or something, you will find my video on using the Note 3 and the S4 as remotes. And if you want me to do one on the S5, let me know in the comments or by giving the video a thumbs up. Anyways, I'm jumping around and I have ADHD and I get talking about one thing, I get carried away, and then I edit the video and I upload it, and then I remember what I was trying to say, and I add it as a text overlay on the video. Anyways, so on S Health, you have the ability to click on heart rate, and then you try to keep still, place your finger on the sensor. Okay, so we'll do that, and we'll hit OK. And a little red light's letting me know that it's measuring my pulse. And you look over here, and you can see what it says here in just a second. 83 per second. I'm pretty excited right now because I want to let you guys know how I felt about the phone. I truly thought this was going to be an S4S. Joking around, kind of like the iPhone 5S, 4S, stuff like that. I do not feel this way. I feel that if you're looking for a device to upgrade to, this is definitely something you should consider. If you're someone that has gotten used to TouchWiz, you like TouchWiz, I hands down get this phone over anything else. If you prefer AOSP Android, I highly recommend checking out the HTC One M8 Google Play Edition. Probably right after this video, I'm going to compare it to the HTC One M8 Google Play Edition here, and I'm going to talk about all the things that I like about each device and that I don't like about each device, and which one I would choose over the other. And I know my email is showing, that's fine. It's on my Google Plus page, google.com/plus wwjoshdew, and go to the about, and you will see my email there. So it's, whatever. Anyways, again, if you're used to TouchWiz, definitely consider this device. If you have the S4 and you're thinking about paying a lot of money to get the S5, honestly, it's a nice upgrade, but it's not huge. Now, if you have the S3 and you're looking to upgrade into this phone, hands down, you should go do it today. I mean, you should see whatever time the Sprint, T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, you should see what time your store closes and go look at this phone, play with it after watching this review, and definitely pick it up if you have an upgrade available or you can afford to pay for it full price. I will repeat myself. To me, this is not the best device out there, but it is very good. It has been enjoyable to use the last few days, and I don't have a problem recommending this to people. My S4 review was totally different. It was more biased than anything, and the phone charges fast, the battery life lasts long. If you want to buy an extended battery, you can put one on there, and the extended battery will get you 3-4 times more battery. If you Google wwjoshdew and then zero lemon, that's one word, you'll see a video on the S3, the S4, and the Note 2. I've also done a zero lemon battery video on the Note 3 and the Nexus 5 as well. Zero lemon makes two types of batteries. They make slim batteries just like this that fit in there just like this one does, but you get two of them and a little base to charge your phone. It's beautiful because when this phone dies, it takes me all but 5 seconds to pull this battery out, take the fresh battery off the charger, put this dead battery on the charger, turn the device on, and have 100% charge. Zero lemon And Anchor will more than likely come up with a solution like that for this. And it's absolutely beautiful. To me, that totally kicks having this huge battery case on your phone that's ginormous, hard to press the power button, you can't use a case that you like. It's definitely the best alternative to me. Zero Limit and Anchor are more than likely going to make extended batteries that bring the phone up to like right here, but they give you like 10,000 milliamp hours of extra battery life. Or 9,000. So that's one beautiful thing that again, it's another one of those reasons. It would be impossible for me not to recommend this phone to somebody. I mean, I'm not saying get this over other phones. I'm saying if you like Samsung, if you like TouchWiz, it's a no-brainer. Get the phone. It's simple. It's very, very fast. The 2 gigs of RAM is fine. I wish it had gotten 3. That would have made it a more incentive, like a bigger incentive to upgrade if you have a previous device, but it handles most everything just fine. Let's talk about this little recent apps button here. As you can see, you have all those right there. You can swipe one away individually, or you can kill them all at one time. If you press on this, you've got a little recent tasks button here, and you can go to end all, and end all the stuff that's running. You can see right now that after clearing all of my things, that's how much RAM is available. That's the worst part about TouchWiz compared to an AOSP Android device like the Google Play Edition HTC One M8. And you have not much RAM. If you reboot this thing, you're still going to be using more than 1 gig of RAM because that's how much TouchWiz soaks up. Also, if you're looking at rooting, the S5 has Knox and Samsung has crappy stuff on there that says your device has been tampered with. Please reboot your device. And you're stuck in this constant reboot because your device is rooted. There are ways to disable it if you install a Super SU and you let it disable Knox, but it's not gone. You permanently voided your warranty. If you're someone that's never going to root a device, then that's not your problem. You don't have to worry about it. But if you want to root your device, this is a tricky device to root because there is CF Auto Root for pretty much all variants of the S5, except the Verizon and AT&T version because of the locked bootloaders. Yes, locked bootloader, but there will be like safe strap, safe root. There will be some kind of root method out there eventually, and I will cover it in a video. So, I mean, the recent apps button is something you'll get used to. I will say that I like on-screen buttons. So down here, you'll have a home, back, recent apps, and if you're in an app that has a menu, sometimes it'll put a little menu button right there if it's not somewhere else on the screen. But on this device, if it has a menu, it's like off, kind of like right here. You see you've got all this space right here being used up because there's nowhere for a menu button right there. You know, that's not the end of the world, and a lot of apps are updating and supporting that, like speedtest.net has actually fixed it where it's not a little menu thing there anymore. So like if I open up Plume, for example, here, and then I long press on this, on some apps it does not do that. But on here, as you can tell, when I hold down this, it brings up the menu right there. So it works on some apps, but don't think it works on all of them. So like Twitter, for example, we'll hold that down. Okay, so it is working on all of them. All right, so correction there. You can hold down this button to get to the settings, and it's doing it right there too. But yes, so without a menu button, you can just simply hold this down, or if you don't feel like looking for wherever they place the menu button on that area. But it still takes up that space right there. I actually wouldn't mind it if they went back to the old days where they had a home, back, menu, and then like a recent apps button instead of a search button. In the old days, like the older phones, like the Transform and stuff. But I guess that's really all I have to say. I don't want to make this video longer than it already is, and I don't want to repeat myself. Please check out my first impressions and my unboxing. Those two videos will be linked in the description below. Again, please click where it says show more, and that way you'll be able to see all the links. Because some people say, hey, where's the link to this? And it's because they never clicked show more, and they're only seeing like 3 or 4 of the first lines. So that's why I stress that in a lot of my videos. Hands down, this is definitely the best Galaxy device so far. You're not going to go wrong if you get this phone. If you get this phone, you're going to enjoy it. But like I said a couple times now, and I'm saying it for one last time, in my opinion, it's not the best device out there. but if you're coming from a previous Samsung device and you're used to TouchWiz, you really should look nowhere else other than this phone. Again, there's going to be a video comparing this to the HTC One M8, and there's going to be another video comparing the Nexus 5 to the HTC One M8 Google Play Edition, since they both run stock Android. I want to talk about the differences between the two devices, why I like one more than the other, or why I might like one more than the other, but I still really like the other. It's hard to explain. In the world of Android devices, you can never have enough. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram, links in the description below. Please give this video a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is What Would Josh Do, and I'm out.